touch. Over in this section, tools that a businessman would use. Typewriters. Down here we have 2 machines for printing checks, 2 abacus for adding up or multiplying, and this tool is called a laupan.
Hey, this is Andrew Lim inviting you to go out on a limb. I recently had an amazing trip to Penang and I want to share that with you. So known as the Pearl of the Orient, Penang is a Malaysian state comprising of a part of the Malaysian peninsula as well as the Penang Island. Now the latter is where most tourists go. Now with about 114 square miles, Penang Island offers endless cultural sites as well as natural scenery. Folks, before we start, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notified button for new contents that I upload weekly. Thank you. Gek Lok Si Temple is a main draw here for tourists visiting Penang Island. Now I was particularly fascinated by the 7 stories pagoda with 10,000 alabasters and bronze statues of the Great Buddha inside. And it also offers a nice view of Air Itam, which is the town where the temple is located. Now further up on a short funicular ride, I got to admire the stunning Guanyin or Goddess of Mercy statue, which is about 120 feet tall. Now there are also a few beautiful Buddhist shrines on site. The entire complex of temples was actually built over a period from 1890 to 1930 and is definitely worth your visit when you are here. Now next we headed up to Penang Hill using a 4x4, which provided a much thrilling ride with hair-raising corners and endless honking by the driver, because it was really a narrow road that could only fit one vehicle in most parts of the drive. Now the highlight in Penang Hill is called the Habitat. It's a well-designed park with a great canopy walk where people can actually enjoy the rainforest and also check out its inhabitants.
The air is super cooling here at the Habitat. It's a really nice walk. I'm actually walking on a really long canopy right now. It's really great here. It's refreshing. If you want some refreshing air, you have to come up here to the Habitat in Penang Hill.
So on our canopy walk, we actually saw different kinds of flora and fauna in the pristine rainforest. The weather was also much cooler up here than the rest of the island. So if you actually need a relief from the heat, this is actually a good place to come to. There's also a cool treetop walk here, offering the highest public viewing point on the island. So we had a great time here appreciating nature, and of course going down was also part of the entertainment. So on our way back to Georgetown, we had made a detour and stopped quickly at one of the beaches in Batu Ferringhi, which is the northern part of Penang Island. Georgetown is the colorful multicultural capital of Penang and once was the important trading hub known for its British colonial buildings and Chinese shop houses. Now you also find mosques here as well. The Cheong Fat Si Mansion, or more famously known as the Blue Mansion, is a beautiful architecture to visit here in Georgetown. It's also a popular boutique hotel in the city. Now, constructed before the end of the 19th century, the Blue Mansion simply takes your breath away as soon as you walk in with its beautiful living room. Now, faced with the splendor of the past, I actually was thinking how cool it would be to actually have my birthday party here, like, having one at a castle. Now, the courtyard adorned with hanging red lanterns is in fact the popular mahjong scene of the 2018 hit movie Crazy Rich Asians. Up the stairs you'll find a few more rooms, including a beautiful restaurant of the hotel, which is also open to non-hotel guests. There's also a poster reminding visitors that this was where Crazy Rich Asians was shot, but I was actually more thrilled to find out that the 1993 classic movie Indochine was actually shot here as well. I also was really interested in why only one mahjong tile in this glass case was moving while others actually stayed stationary. So while in Georgetown, I actually came across the street called Lebo Armenia, which I was fascinated by that name because it simply means Armenian Street. Now I'm like, this is actually really far from Armenia. How could this be? So apparently a lot of Armenians were actually trading here in Penang. Armenian traders were actually stopping here en route to Malacca as well as Jakarta. So by 1807, there were enough Armenian traders here to justify the naming of Armenian Lane, which later became Armenian Street, hence Lebo Armenia. So on Armenia Street, you'll find this popular wall art that is on everyone's Instagram. Armenian restaurants that serve Chinese food, interestingly. And also at the end of this street, across a busy road, you find the popular floating village known as the Clan Jetties of Penang. Now, the Clan Jetties of Penang is a complete village on stilts sitting above the water where Chinese clans still live today. In the 19th century, many Chinese immigrants had actually come to Malaysia, and in order to survive in a foreign environment, they banded together by their last names. Strength in numbers, as they say. Now, some jetties are more touristy than others. The most popular one being the Chew Jetty, where you can actually stroll past souvenir shops, snack shops, clothing shops, as well as actual homes. Yes, there are still people living here today, and of course, their last names in this part is Chew. Walking here is like strolling in an open-air museum, and this is not even Rome. Of course, to locate the jetty of my people, which is the last name of Lim or Lin, and voila. My people obviously are more low-key, like me, because there are actually no visitors here at all. It's all residential. Now, while in Georgetown, don't forget to check out Leong Sant Kong SE, which is the largest Hokkien clan house here in Malaysia, with an elaborate and highly ornamented architecture. It reminds visitors of the dominant Chinese presence here on Penang Island. If you ask me, I think it was the Triad House. So from walking to riding in a car, you never run out of cultural sites to admire here in the beautiful island of Penang. I will be back here for sure.